Well, hello there, and welcome to the bathroom of the dollhouse, where all the hard work gets done. That's right. For another reading from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elfers for September 21st, the day of current taste. And here at the top of the page is a visual representation of the day of current taste. We have us an image, boom, of a teacup on a saucer. That's right. Some fine china, a teacup. Now, I don't know what the association there is with the day of fine taste, but hey, we don't necessarily need to make those connections. It's just a visual representation. Maybe it'll all come together as we get on with the read. No, but what's more important here is it's someone's birthday today. That's right. Is it September 21st and it's your birthday today? Well, if it is, I just want to extend you an earnest happy birthday. And if this video finds you long or perhaps shortly after your day has already come and gone, I hope you had a happy birthday. That's right. Hope you had a happy birthday. All right. But for everyone else who just joined us randomly, or more ideally, to celebrate the September 21st birthday, I want to also say hello and welcome to you, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Now, before we dive in with the birthday redirect, let's roll some dice. That's right. It is the DykASSt birthday cast, so we need to live up to the namesake around these here parts, and we do so more importantly for synchronicity's sake, and rolled us a 5 and a 6, a 4, 11. That's right. Now, what is synchronicity? Some of you may be wondering. Well, long and the short of it is, it's just you getting out into the world and letting the universe show you it's with you on your path. And you do that by looking for these numbers. That's right. It's your agreed upon number. Or you can roll your own dice to figure it out, but the intention's here for you. And when you see these numbers out in the wild, you chase after them. That's right. You chase after them until you can't find them, or you can't see them anymore. Maybe it's a car and it's got a big old 11 on the hood. Well, and you just see it out the corner of your eye. Well, go after it in the direction it's going for a little ways. Maybe that's all the universe is doing. It's getting you to change course and start going that way. And it's gone before you know it, right? Well, then maybe the number 5 bus just rolls up. Well, hey there. That's one of your daily numbers. Jump on that thing, right? See where it goes. Maybe it takes you to the number 6 stop in a few minutes' time there. Who's to say? Well, so get off. Maybe you're on 65th Street at that point, and maybe you see yourself, boom, a 56 in the address on the building right off you get off the bus. Now, these things are lining up pretty quick for you. It's probably not going to happen in the wild, but that's to say, go on into that building, all right, and maybe you find yourself in a china shop. Ooh, and they got teacups on clearance. Who's to say? But you're not necessarily in the market, if you like, for any kind of china, even if it is your fine taste teacups. And the person behind the counter says, "Hey, what are you in the shop here today for?" And you're like, "Well, I'm here for synchronicity." And they're like, "Say what?" And you're like, "But so you show them this video maybe." And you know what's funny? Nobody else is really in the market for fine china either. So maybe they close up the shop and they go with you, and you just made a friend. And you know what? That's all it necessarily has to be. Just little things leading you up to the moment where you meet a new friend. That's right. So that's synchronicity as I understand it in a nutshell. And I think you get it. 5 and a 6, 4 and 11. All right. Hey, let's get in on with the birthday read. All right. Your month of September, your day the 21st, and your sign is 27 to 29 degrees Virgo of the Virgo rather, Libra cusp. And your quality and element is mutable earth. All right. September 21st, the day of current taste. And those born on September 21 are very much concerned with the prevailing social tastes of the times, either in setting them within their own circle or observing them. It can be said that most September 21 people are extremely up to date in their thinking, their dress, the way they keep their homes, even the car they drive, or at least they have a strong desire to be. Consequently, if their financial circumstances do not allow for such a contemporary lifestyle, those born on this day can grow rather unhappy. Often their desire to be successful financially is motivated by such needs. And it must be mentioned, however, that there is a smaller group of September 21 people who are not preoccupied with these externals at all, but only concerned with being up to date intellectually and having an advanced outlook. And for this type of person, a natural lifestyle away from the bustle of the city may come to assume great importance. The word modern is applicable to September 21 people, both in the sense of being in tune with their times and in being progressive. That's right. They are generally attracted to modern architecture, new ideas, fashion trends, and advancements in science, and may await the appearance of the latest model tool, machine, or gadget with great interest. The reasons for this interest are not only a fascination with innovation and wishing to be seen by others as up to date, but also a real knowledge that such developments can better their lives and allow them to work more efficiently. And September 21 people take great pride in their creations, whether of a physical form, such as children, works of art, businesses, and constructions, or more abstract nature, such as concepts, systems, plans, and inventions. The ideal occupation for those born on this day may be one which allows them to dream up new ideas and then see them through in practical application. Most September 21 people seek to be elegant and admired, and some even worshipped. And their feeling for beauty is important to them, and matters of aesthetic taste are usually given high priority. And September 21 people have an undeniable fascination for mystery, strange people, suspense, and even danger and violence. And these interests should, of course, be channeled creatively and kept within bounds because they can make for a stimulating dream and fantasy life. They can also produce a highly destructive personality. A September 21 person's idea of beauty can very well be tinged or even characterized by unusual desires, and indeed may be less a function of balance, harmony, and proportion than of something rather wild, asymmetric, and provocative. And September 21 people do have a way of imbuing the commonplace with an unusual air and of making mundane subjects more interesting. They should, however, avoid sensationalism for its own sake and beware of superficiality in all forms. Well, all right. How about that for a birthday breakdown? I say it's pretty interesting there. And I did put together some notes to provide a little bit of a commentary, if you like, here. September 21 for the breakdown. A prominent concern for the present social tastes and with observing or setting them. All right, how about that? That's a lofty goal, I'd say, but an admirable one to some extent. Someone also up to date with the latest trends or has a strong desire to be, and if you can't, it might just affect your overall morale, which sounds a wee bit materialistic by my mind, at least to me. You want the stuff that helps define your image, and in our heart of hearts, I think anybody can understand that. But I'd argue you can't undervalue personality. Okay, it's the classic rich kid dynamic by my mind. He may have all the cool toys, right? But that's the only reason anybody wants to be in his orbit. All right, be the person everybody wants to be around without the toys, and then you start to sprinkle them in, right? At least that's that's how I think you do it. All right, and then you play dress up. That's what I wrote here. So I very much appreciate the so-called taste as realized by the smaller, naturalistic-minded September 21 type myself. I'm sure they still dress nice, etc. It's just more measured approach, right? Restraint. That's what I have to say. That's the key takeaway here. A little bit of restraint, if you like, moderation, happiness with what you have. All right. And a focus on the latest and greatest in the knowledge sphere, but a pride in creation is also mentioned. All right, dreams of new ideas, but seeking to be worshipped seems a little lofty of an aspiration. All right, it may just be another facet of fascination for the mystery and the danger, by my mind, which the reading also mentioned. And all of it's kind of a grand kind of fantasy, the way I see it, in a lot of ways, but maybe rather misguided in trying to be made real. Not that it can't be done, just that your time is probably better spent focusing that elsewhere, on the more realistic things, right? But yeah, certainly strive rather to make things interesting. I'd say that's hugely novel aspiration. But stay reasonable and find that harmony that they mentioned. That's right. Okay, that's what I'd say about your birthday breakdown. Let's dive in with your numbers and your planets. All right, those born on the 21st of the month are ruled by the number 3, as 2 plus 1 equals 3, and by the expansive planet Jupiter. Jupiter, if I said that a little breathy. Those ruled by the number 3 are often ambitious and sometimes dictatorial, all right? And due to the optimistic influence of Jupiter, September 21 people may be too easy with their money, which can lead to debt, overdrafts, or losses from get-rich-quick schemes. And people born on September 21 must also be particularly mindful of their social nature dominating their personality, all right? And those ruled by the number 3 can sometimes arouse jealousy in others, and should therefore keep their antennae tuned to any emotional static that may be arising in their environment. Okay, what I'd say about your numbers and your planets. All right, the number 3 and the expansive planet Jupiter. For that planet with its own arguable solar system, its gravity is so strong kind of energy, all right? And the reading claims you may be too easy with your money due to your optimism, which some folks may take advantage of. So take note of that. I don't believe I've ever seen that mentioned in the book before here, so it might hold a grain of truth to it. Social nature and jealousy also get notable mentions. So hopefully the clever antennae metaphor helps make that idea clear. All right. See through the emotional static. I like that. And don't get distracted or snowed. That's right. A little pun there with the static. All right. That's been your numbers and your planets. They personalized it for you to a certain extent. Most of the other Jupiter entries are a little more copy-paste by my memory. So take note, they focused on you here a little bit. So let's move on to your tarot. That's right, the old tarot, one of the more eclectic of the metaphysical ideologies, new agey practices. But hey, it's in the book, it's fun. Broaden our horizons, see what it has to say. Doesn't mean we necessarily have to buy in with the whole practice, but let's see what she has to say here. The 21st card of the major arcana is the World. That's right, which depicts a goddess running with her energy-giving rods in her hands. She surmounts the world and displays the truth. And she has unlimited power. I was going to say ultimate. Let's say she has ultimate power too. The card symbolizes all that is attainable on the earthly plane. And although reward and integrity are assured, traditionally, the card can also indicate monumental obstacles and setbacks of fortune, as well as negative traits of distraction and self-pity. And this card reveals the primary task of September 21 people: to make their way in the world in a constructive fashion. All right, how about that for your tarot card there? The World. This one only pops up once a month, all right? So lucky you, huh? All right, what do I have to say about your tarot? The World, the goddess with her energy-giving rods, all right? Displaying truth, and in possession of unlimited, ultimate power. That's right. What else we got here? You have the capacity for great things. That's kind of what I'm taking away from it. From realizing your dreams, but be mindful of the obstacles, right? As they said, most of which may be self-generated, considering all of your interests, okay? So I'd say don't get in your own way. Find that harmony. That's right. The obstacles might just be you, so take note of that. I don't think that said anything about that, but that's what made me think. So be sure to get out of your own way. That's right. All right, so let's move on to your health. All right, those born on September 21 will want to be in tune with the times. Yeah, I think they said that. Because the age in which we live is so health-oriented, they will be open and eager to put their diet and exercise programs to fit both established and advanced norms. Thus, they may be interested in macrobiotic, vegetarian, fruitarian, and weight loss diets, as well as aerobics, Callinetics, I don't know what that word is, let's say calisthenics. All right, yoga, tai chi, and other forms of physical fitness. I'll put that in the notable errata for you to check out if you're interested. Callinetics, perhaps. All right, then we got, they should be aware of forcing an unsuitable regimen on themselves and instead make an effort to discover diets and exercise plans best suited to their well-being. Oh, that's important. It is essential that September 21 people regularly consult their family doctor or health advisor to monitor their progress and make sure they are not headed in the wrong direction. All right, yeah, don't get in your own way, right? Okay, hey, what do I have to say about your health? Being in tune with health-oriented times. So that means focusing on diets and exercise, ostensibly, even if you may not need it. All right, again, find that harmony, okay? But don't get in your own way. But I'd say learn from all these things that you want to entertain, all right? You might be able to use them creatively in the future, perhaps for one of those projects that you do as a creative type. Even if the program or the diet, the ideology you take on is something you abandon, you know, just take note of what's going on because you can use it later and say like a book or something. So in any event, what else did I write here? Even if it didn't work for you. And mind your physician's advice, apparently. And I'd say take note of that because it's not something that they often suggest. So it may be helpful for you. All right, that's what I'd say about your health. Let's dive in with some advice. Find your true values within and don't get carried away by the latest and the greatest. And try to keep to one path. Feel free to flaunt your differences if you wish, but don't be obsessed by them. It doesn't matter so much what your neighbors think. All right, hey, pretty good with the advice there, real quick. But it had some value, I would say. All right, what I have to say about your advice. Drilling back down on previous advice and themes, but rightfully so. It's important, okay? But I do like this flaunt your stuff if you want aspect, but being mindful, it might not suit you in the end, all right? Be the rich kid everyone likes for who they are, not for their stuff. All right, yeah, I got back to my own metaphor there. So that was what I'd say about your advice, because, you know, we drilled down on all that stuff quite a bit through almost every section. So you didn't need to hear it 9 other times. So let's take the energy down just a hair and move on to your meditation. All right, your meditation. Beauty is not always something you must search for. Oh, I like that. All right, one more time. Beauty is not always something you must search for. All right, that's your meditation. It's your birthday. I'm not going to throw a spin on it that might affect what you have to think that means. All right, that's just for you. That's your meditation. All right, hey, let's dive in and get on with your strengths and your weaknesses. All right, I like this one. It just it brings the drama to a zenith, if you like. All right, your strengths. You're progressive, you're tasteful, and aesthetic. Yeah. And your weaknesses. Oh, your weaknesses. Are you ready? Hold your breath. What do we got here? You're materialistic, sensationalist, and the last one, flighty. Ooh, sensationalist, materialistic, and flighty. Yeah, they might not be weaknesses, but something to be mindful of, even if you don't think they apply. Hey, sometimes if we hear them, we go, oh, shoot, I do that a little bit. Didn't realize it had to come out of someone's mouth. Or sometimes we hear it all the time, but it's just that one select special time we hear it that we're like, oh, wow. It means something to me now. This happens to me sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't. Maybe it takes 100 more times down the road of hearing it. So who's to say? In the event, let's move on to those born on this day. That's right. And with this section, I like to dive in and recognize something that I find important, and that is chasing one's passions. That's right. I meet a lot of people out in the world and ask them what they do, and more importantly, if they like it, and a lot of times they don't. And why is that? Well, frankly speaking, I think it's just because they haven't had the time to put in the work to figure out their passion. And it happens a lot these days. Just because you get out of school, you got to find a job, get that security going, get the money into the market's pockets so you can get the food on the table, and then you get get home for the weekend, you got bed sheets to wash, and just there's no time to put in the work on yourself and what you like to do, and ostensibly how to get money from it. And so I think by examining who shares your company and seeing what put them on the map, got them famous, got them in the book, it might just provide a little bit of inspiration if you find yourself find yourself in that predicament, trying to figure out your passions. Anyway, I think you get the point. Let's move on to those born on this day. We start off with H.G. Wells, the British visionary, historian, economist, and novelist of War of the Worlds. And we also have Stephen King. We have another writer, the horror writer of The Shining. We have Bill Murray, the comedian, film and TV actor, Saturday Night Live member, Ghostbuster. He also did a film that I like called The Razor's Edge. Yeah, give that one a look if you can find it. We have Gustav Holst, British composer, Leonard Cohen, Canadian singer-songwriter and a poet. We also have Hamilton Jordan, Jimmy Carter, Ross Perot campaign manager, and he was also the senior presidential aide, it says. We also have Shirley Conran, British journalist, a textile designer and writer of Down with Superwoman. We also have Francis Hopkins, an American revolutionary judge and a writer. Chico Hamilton, jazz drummer and a band leader. We have Donald A. Glaser, was a Nobel Prize-winning physicist of weak interactions and worked on DNA and RNA. We have John London McAdam, Scottish engineer and road surface inventor. Larry Hagman, the TV actor of Dallas. He played JR in Dallas and also was the major on I Dream of Jeannie, if you haven't seen that one. We also have Robert Fisher, the comedy writer for Groucho Marx, Amos, and Andy. Girolamo Savonarola. Boy, I butchered that name, though I've never heard that one before. So let's give the comedy logo a little chop, because it's not done with malice. It's just done because Hooked on Phonics didn't work for me with, Italian names this day. All right, he was an Italian prophet, fanatic, and excommunicated and executed. All right, so we have Sir Alan Lane, British publisher of Penguin Books and a paperback pioneer. How's that for some alliteration? We have Slam Stewart. That's a cool name right there. Old Slam. And can you guess what he did? Or she did, I'm not quite sure. A jazz bassist, that's right. The jazz players always have the cool names. Faber Buran was a color consultant, pioneer of functional color, and wrote Color Perception in Art. We also have Marcia Norman, a playwright. Cecil Fielder, a baseball first baseman. He wasn't a fielder, how about that? He didn't live up to his namesake there. And AL two-time RBI champ. We also have Hans Hartung, German-French abstract painter and a pioneer. Now, I would say very interesting day. A lot of writers, and it kind of harkens back to what I was saying about the fad diets and all the exercise things. You take things on that you might think are good for you, but then you later abandon them. But don't forget what you took and derived from that thing, that system of thought. Because if you're a writer, it's something that you can mine. The little bit of knowledge you have of that thing you experimented with, you can put into your next project. Give it as a character trait for one of your fictional individuals. That's right. We had a lot of creative types on this day. I was surprised. All right, so that has been those born on this day. Hopefully you drew some inspiration, took something from it. If only to see who shares your birthday. That's right. All right, so with that being said, that basically rounds out your birthday reading there, except to say your season is summer, your sign once again is Virgo of the Virgo Libra Cusp, and your quality and element is mutable earth. And this has been September 21st, the day of current taste, from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and you Stelfers. I have an affiliate link for this book down in the description if you're interested in picking up your own copy and diving in further. It makes a great coffee table book. If you ever have company over and you're trying to celebrate, get the ice broken, well, this thing won't only do it literally, considering how thick it is, but it's going to get the conversation started figuratively also, for better or for worse. Some of these days aren't always rhinestones and roses, if you like. Sometimes they're a little dour, so it might be for better for worse, but regardless, it's going to get the conversation flowing. Get that party started. That's right. In any event, that's not important. What's important here today is it was your birthday, or it is your birthday. And so I want to say happy birthday. All right, like I did at the top, happy birthday. And like I said, if it was late, I hope you had a happy birthday. And everyone else who dropped by to celebrate September 21st birthday, I want to say I hope you enjoyed yourself and you join us for your birthday reading. All right, once again, happy birthday. And lest we forget your daily numbers. That's right, a 5 and a 6, 4 and 11. Get out there and let the universe show you it's with you on your path. And get your steps in, have some fun, and see what it has to show you. All right, take care of yourselves, and happy birthday.